THL Hilla Stormbringer from the Known World Cooks and Bards event, and featuring a live performance by Caid's own Baroness Briana MacCabe. Me, I'm your announcer, Master Bjorn of the Northern Sea. And here's your host, Master Laertes McBride.
Hi! See what happens when you take a week off? Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us this evening. It sounds like everyone's very excited to have Briana on the show, as am I. So a couple of quick Caid-specific announcements before we get started. Just a reminder that the next upcoming in-person event looks to be Festival of the Rose on August 21st in Navaheim. And then Highland Wars coming up on that Labor Day weekend of the 4th. Details are on the Kingdom website. And then, of course, Crown Tourney's coming up the end of September 25th, because, we've had these royals for so long. And letters of intent are due on September 5th. Check out the Kingdom group Facebook page for details and the information that's required on your letter of intent. That seems everything I've got. We have a chock full of show today, so let's go ahead and bring Bjorn in and see what's going on with Bjorn. He'll be here right now. Hey, Bjorn.
Hello there, sir.
How was your time?
Unfortunately, the person that is my body, the corporeal physical essence of me, overdid it this last couple of weeks, and so I actually missed out on the opportunity to go to Queen's Champion because I just I'm trying to get back into armor, and I'm basically, as something gets healed up, then I pull this muscle, I do that, and I have to remember I'm in my 50s now. I can't just go, I will lift all the things. But I did there was a Laurels meeting on Sunday, and no one died, so that was fantastic.
Right. Well, that means you got your fighting in for the weekend. Queen's Champion was awesome. So many people, so many familiar faces, so many 18-month older faces that I haven't seen in a while. I had the opportunity to fight in the tournament. I now have discovered that I can get sore in places I didn't remember I could get sore in. And it was a fantastic day. And as a matter of fact, since you weren't there at Queen's Champion, we had the opportunity for our in-the-field roving reporter, Countess Batista. She's filed a report from Queen's Champion. So let's go ahead and see how Queen's Champion was with our official correspondent for the event. And here she is now.
Hi, Laertes, and thank you. This is Batista with Live from Caid. I am here in Gildenholt today for the Queen's Champion, and I am about to go talk to all the winners. I'm very excited to talk to them. The tournament's over, so I'm going to go meet up with everybody right now. We're here with the person who came in second today. So, I mean, it's amazing. You must be so excited to come in second in Queen's Champion.
I'm the first loser. It's super great. Oh, yeah, but I am. It was super neat. It was super neat.
I mean, seriously, second place?
Yeah.
That's like, you're like the vice president of Queen's Champions.
Wait, do we like the vice presidents?
I'm not going to talk politics, but anyways, it's great.
I want to be the vice Tyrannosaurus Rex. It was also versus Master Tyndall,
Yes.
who is terrifying. And a really good friend of mine, too.
Yeah, but you know what? He came in first, and nobody really cares about who
no
comes
one really
in
cares.
first.
They're not going to remember who won the tournament. They're going to remember who the prettiest was.
Exactly.
And I was definitely the prettiest.
The good thing is you have half as much work to do coming in second.
Yes, I have half as much work. And also, I'm not going to win any IQ contests or sword contests, but I'm going to win looking good contests.
I'm not exactly sure why you brought your IQ into it, but okay.
Yeah.
So let me just ask you.
Sure.
What would have been your ultimate for winning Queen's Champion? It's like, what is it to you? What is Queen's Champion to you?
So I've been sword fighting for approximately 3, maybe 4 years, counting the pandemic.
Oh my God, I want a short answer.
Oh yeah. I want to serve my queen because she's super rad, and she's like actually British. She has an English accent, so I want to be like on Her Majesty's like royal service. Because I want to be James Bond. Yeah, I don't want to be on her Secret Service. It's very bad. So that's what I wanted to do.
Awesome.
And I also wanted the opportunity to serve Caid, which I still get. We all
you're
get
getting
those
long again.
opportunities.
Your answer's getting long
I'm sorry.
again. All right. Well, thank you so much for the short, quick answers, and congratulations again on being in second place. It's got to be a great honor.
It was super fun.
All right. Thank you so much. Here's some people that came to the tournament today. So, are you really excited about who won the tournament today?
Stoked for it. Had to come back to meet him in person. Hear he's one of the best. He's been talking his game up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he didn't win. I didn't fight. That's kind of embarrassing.
Thought he would have won.
That's kind of embarrassing. And what about you? Were you excited to see who came in first in the tournament today?
I got here a little bit too late, but I was also interested in just the art and everything that comes along with it.
Now I'm here with the person who came in second in heavies today. You must be, I just talked to the guy who came in second in rapier, and he was so excited. So you must just be
I am
equally
so excited, but I am also sopping wet. I have been soaking since the moment I stepped foot on here, and I feel like I have an ocean underneath my armor ready to go.
All right. Well, remind me not to touch your armor.
I feel great. I'm really happy with how I did, but I'm also like, I am covered in water.
Yeah. So here, I have a question for you. So what exactly does being Queen's Champion mean to you?
Being Queen's Champion is, well, first of all, you stand behind their thrones, their Majesty's thrones at court, and then you get to wear a really cool baldric and represent Her Majesty when other kingdoms come in and fight, and you get to show just how tough we are here. And get to like beat up the other champions when they try to come in and roll into Great West and claim something.
You know, you're actually the first person that's been honest and said, I just like to wear the regalia.
The regalia is great.
That it is.
It is an honor to serve Her Majesty. I think my favorite part is the beating up the other champions from the other kingdoms.
Oh, it's the regalia, dude.
Okay.
I understand that you got to walk around with the Queen today on her progress. How was that?
Hot, very sunny. But the people really enjoyed it, so that was fun.
Good. All right, that's great. I heard something about a hooker.
That would be you for missing it.
Oh, I'm the hooker. Great. We're here with the person who won the Rapier's Queen's Champion today. So how's it feel to have won?
It feels really good. I had a lot of great competitors to fight against, and they were really a challenge.
Yeah, you know, we interviewed some of those competitors. The people who came in second place were so happy. So, you know, you come in first, that means you have to do all the work.
Yeah, they get a nice vacation. They get to go all the way to the end, and then just relax.
Yep. So let me ask you, what does Queen's Champion mean to you?
It means I get a good chance to represent the Queen and all the things that entails.
Oh, that just sounded like sucking up to me. I'm pretty sure that's all that was.
Do you know what that's like?
Sucking up or being sucked up too?
Well, I mean, anyway, you've been Queen a couple times, right?
I know all of the sucking. Wait.
Make sure to get that on tape.
So thank you so much. I understand, Oz, that you're a little upset that you've never actually been invited to talk on Live from Caid. Is that true?
I am. I mean, I'm pretty live.
All right, thank you so much, Laertes. Back to you. I am here with the person who came in first in Queen's Champion today. Introduce yourself.
I'm Softboy.
I wasn't sure.
I am Duke Sir Sven Orfender.
I wasn't sure what name you were going to use, so I didn't want to introduce you.
I think I used Findog today, but I can't remember.
Okay. All right. So how does it feel to come in first instead of second? From what I understand, everyone who came in second was really excited today.
I've come in second plenty of times in my life, so.
Yeah, but you know, you don't have to do as much work when you come in second, right?
That's true, yeah.
Yeah? So let me ask you seriously, what does Queen's Champion mean to you?
Queen's Champion is my favorite tournament. It's so much fun because you get a good mix of fighters and people who don't fight anywhere else will show up for it. And it was my favorite tournament until I finally won it the first time. And then it's like, I won, now everything looks like I have to do something, I have to be important.
You're not important.
Well, I am now, but when I first won it, I was an unbelt and I was a slob, and everyone's like, well, we got to do something with this guy.
And so now you've had to get respectable, that's what you're saying? So the thing you like about Queen's Champion is it makes you respectable.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
Okay. All right, well, thank you so much. So Laertes, Queen's Champion was an absolute blast today. We had so many good fighters in the list, and I think that the Queen is going to be really happy with the finals. We got to interview all of the winners, which was great, and it's just been a great experience today. So, Laertes, back to you. I love you, Batista!
It looks like everyone had an awesome time.
There really isn't another correspondent like Her Excellency. I mean,
no, that was great. It was great talking, seeing Sven, and I think we learned a lot about Batista we didn't know. So
that is true.
But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of glorious fighting that day, and you know what, Count Oz, you've finally been on the show, so mission accomplished.
Very true indeed.
All right, so what do we have for the arts and science highlight for this week?
So ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we are starting to get back into the realities of face-to-face interaction in the SCA. However, one of the few wonderful things about the plague times was really the manifestation of a more robust online presence. And that, I do believe, in some facets will continue in the SCA moving forward. In particular, what I wanted to talk about is this Thursday, the 29th, and it will be from 7 p.m. Pacific on to later in the evening, around 10 or so, is a special event for Drybergen's Culinary Guild. Now, this is going to be talking about Volker Bach is going to be a person who's going to be talking about the Landsknecht cookbook, talking about recipes from a particular cookbook. And so it's on zauberfedershop.de. The information is available on the Facebook page. And so when you pull that up, it talks about das Landsknecht Kochbuch vereint historische Rezepte mit heutigen Zutaten und bietet einem ausführlichen Einblick in Söldnerleben des 15. Jahrhunderts. And I know that that just sounds like a lot of silliness, but what it actually means is that this Landsknecht cookbook combines historical recipes with today's ingredients and offers a close insight into soldiers' life in the 15th century. So it is a book that's going to talk about the camp aspects, or the traveling aspects, the itinerant aspects of the German mercenaries known as the Landsknecht, and what did they prepare? What meals did they prepare based upon those sources that were given? I think it's going to be a fantastic event. I'm looking forward to going and attending myself. I think that this is something that all of us should have access to. Now, I am unaware of if the book itself is translated into English yet, but there are folks like me. There are many other folks who decided to learn German in school rather than something really cool and fun like French or Italian or Spanish, something more useful. I mean, I studied Latin and German because I figured I was going to be a musicologist. But at any rate, it is a fantastic program that they're going to be doing for the Drybergen Culinary Guild. I recommend folks attend. I think you're going to have a great time, and I believe you're going to have a chance to possibly get a hold of the cookbook if that is something that appeals to you. I certainly am looking forward to looking at it myself. So that's what they'll be doing. Once again, it's going to be Thursday, so it'll be on the 29th of July from 7 p.m. to around 10 p.m. Pacific. And the Zoom information and all of the stuff is going to be available on the Facebook webpage. So give it a look. I think you're going to enjoy it. And that's what we're talking about this week.
Well, I hope they talk about schnitzel, because I just like saying schnitzel, right? I mean, you can't smile when you say you have to smile when you say the word schnitzel.
You have to smile when you say it, and you probably end up smiling after you've eaten it. Because it's just, how can you not enjoy, meat and fried foods? It's fantastic.
A big mouthful of schnitzel. Anyway, so speaking of which, who are our guests this evening?
Well, we are really fortunate in that we have joining us for the Cooks and Bards event, Master Cerian and the Honorable Lady Hilla. So they will be joining us and letting us know what is going to be happening for this program.
All right. Well, let's bring them on. And they're going to be in here right about now. Look at that. It's like I'm magic. Hello.
Hello.
How are things in the Midrealm?
Oh, they seem to be going reasonably well.
Haven't had any massive storms coming through.
Oh, that's nice.
Singing.
He wouldn't let me.
Well, I appreciate y'all joining us tonight. Now, Hilla, this is your second time to be here because you were here as a performer just a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're the other side, doing the business, getting the interview stuff. Because I know you want to do the trivia game at the end. That's the whole reason you're here.
Totally. That was what I asked. I said, "We'll come on, but wait, we get to do the trivia game, right?"
Exactly. So for those of us that don't know, which would be me, y'all are putting on an event coming up in September that is called the Known World Bardic Congress and Cooks Collegium, right? Which, you know, when I think of fun, I think of Congress. But it's better known as the Known World Cooks and Bards event, correct?
Yes.
So could you take a moment, one of y'all or both, or maybe every other word, just alternate, let us know what really this event's about.
This is an event about lots of classes, concerts, Bardic Circles, involving Bardic activities, cooking. Also, we do B&V, have a B&V track, and an instrumental and choral track.
We're going to have concerts and just also rooms to just hang out. So it is a great time to learn a lot. It's a great time to meet up with your Bardic friends and co-conspirators. It's a good time to brush up on your cooking. It's a good way to kind of cross-train. By the way, I like Spätzle with Schnitzel.
You will also get a chance to meet your fellow cooks, bards, and what have you from all over the known world, which you can't do every weekend.
That's true. So how long has this event been going on?
About 20 years.
And is it every year or?
Every other normally.
Okay. And is it like the other collegiums and such, the known world events, that it travels to different kingdoms, or is it always in the middle?
Changes every time.
Okay. So could you go into detail now? Is this going to be an in-person event, or is it a continuation of the virtual events that we've been having?
This will be a virtual online event.
Okay. So so how are y'all going to handle like the cooking part of it? Is it like a cooking class and people will have their own ingredients, or how get a little detail on how that's going to work?
Sure. Obviously, that will depend to some extent on the individual class and the instructor. Some of them will be straight lecture, and some of them will be, well, before you come to class, have these things ready to work with so you can try and do a practicum with your fellow students. So lecture and lab.
So I don't have the dates up here. What are the dates of the event?
We will be September 10th through the 12th. We'll start Friday evening and run all the way through Sunday and into the small hours of Monday morning.
Okay. Now, in the past, when you've been able to have the in-person version of it, has it always been combining the Bardic arts and the culinary arts together?
Yep. Been that way from the beginning.
Okay, so I would think there's a big history of, and I may be stumbling on something that Bjorn was going to ask. I think there's a big history of bards singing about food and meals and such too. So it seems to kind of make sense to have these two together, does it not?
Yeah, the event was first conceived back around 2000 or thereabouts by Garrett Galbraith and Evelyn of Skye from Eldemir. They ran the first couple of them, and it has just been going gangbusters ever since. The very first Bardic Circle at the first one of these was in the kitchen because the temperature outside had dropped to well below zero and there was no heat in the building. So we turned on the stoves and had the very first kitchen Bardic. If any of you are familiar with the various Marion of Heatherdale kitchen Bardic CDs, this was the inspiration for that.
Well, I'm sure the kitchen has great acoustics for Bardic too. So.
And there was heat.
Oh,
the
true.
important thing, there was heat.
Now,
it was colder inside than outside.
Well, where was the first one at?
A scout camp up in Ontario.
Oh, well, yeah.
And yes, there was snow.
I mean, Canada never gets warm, right? Yeah. Just saying hello to our Canadian viewers. So are y'all looking for, if I wanted to come and either teach a cooking class or volunteer to do a Bardic performance or Bardic classes even on how to do performances, are y'all looking for teachers and such? And how would one go about doing that?
Go to the website, create yourself an account, and then put in what class you would like to teach. You can also put in what class you'd like to see taught. You can also offer to perform in a concert if you would like. All of that is available on the website. Once we start getting lots of things scheduled, there is even a way to get your own personalized schedule of the things you are interested in or teaching.
And that's actually really, really nice because sometimes you've got a whole bunch of things that you want to go to and you've forgotten what you want to go to. This will allow you to pre-schedule your things. It's not a commitment to attend X class or Y class, but it's great because this way you can say, oh, these are the classes I wanted to take at this time. And you can kind of make those decisions as opposed to frantically going through the schedule right like 2 minutes before classes start going, oh, wait, what do I need to do next? Ask me why I know about that feeling.
So we've had a cat sighting, so people want to know what's the name of your cat.
Nibs.
Nibs. Well, it makes for a short little collar thing, so that's nice. You know what? I'm going to step out because this is definitely more of the field, food, and Bardic performances. Of course, Bjorn has questions. So I'm going to step out and let Bjorn kind of grill you on stuff. Grill?
Grill?
Thank you so very much, Laertes, for that wonderful introduction. So now, for those of us that have been in the SCA for a good amount of time, the fire pit it's a multi-purpose tool, if you will. And not just for us, for our ancestors, in time immemorial, but they have a unique position within the SCA, especially in places that aren't fire hazards, like most of Caid in the West and Ontir are. In that it's a place for congregation. How do we create that same concept through the virtual medium?
Well, I'd like to speak to that. Basically, we have tried very hard over the past 18 months to create the sense of Bardic circles, especially cooking fires, meeting places in virtual spaces. It's not as easy. But one of the things is that we build Bardic Circles, for example, where you don't just have to perform to be there. You can be audience. You can request something. Depending on the circle and the number of people, will actually just spontaneously drop out of singing and schmooze and talk for hours. So really integrating the Bardic Circle, the cooking circle, especially we'll say, hey, bring your food in, so people will bring their food and their munchies and things like that. So it's been a gradual evolution of bringing all the elements into a Zoom room, which is what we're mostly using is Zoom, to kind of give a facsimile of the campfire without the bugs.
And we do expect to have Bardic Circles all 3 nights of Cooks and Bards.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now, as far as the culinary aspect,
Bjorn there?
I'm still here.
I don't hear him. Do you hear him?
No, if I see everybody. I think everybody sees me. I'm given that I'm just 1/3 of the screen, and normally I take up most of it. Master, for the aspect that
So
Fire Pit has,
y'all can hear Bjorn?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, Bjorn, I'll be right back.
Not a problem, sir. Sorry about that. I have always thought that for the Fire Pit, you needed just as much control from a leader of a Bardic Circle as it did from the culinary aspect. If you're the chef, to make sure that things are properly prepared. How do you intend to prepare the other people that will be attending the cooks portion for this non-hands-on style of event? Since there's no, all right, get your cutting boards out, let's do this. How are you going to best, because this is a challenge, and I applaud you heartily for it. How are you meeting that particular challenge?
Well, some of them will be straight lectures. Some of them we anticipate being labs where, okay, you will get your cutting board out, just instead of everyone doing it together in a single room, which is what we would like to do, everyone is doing it in their own individual homes. We think that's going to work, but no one has ever done this that we know of before. So we're going to be experimenting a little.
We've seen a number of people over the last 18 months manage to do some really amazing cooking classes, cooking demos, brewing classes, brewing demos, and shows. Across the known world, and we're really hoping that they would like to come on the road, as it were, and bring their classes, demonstrations, shows, etc., to the known world cooks and bards. It's definitely different. It doesn't. You can't taste it, and you can't smell it. But at the same time, it's a give and take. We do lose some of the visceral connections, the physical connections, but we do gain a lot of things too. We gain a lot of attendance of people who wouldn't be able to come. We gain literally resources from around the known world, as opposed to those who can make it into the kingdom that it's being held in. We can look more closely at, we can see close up, where otherwise, we might be the people in the back and we're just kind of like, can't see. So it's a give and take. It's going to feel different, but we're hoping to still make it feel welcoming and like known world cooks and bards.
I was fortunate enough to attend a class that was done by the Grand Chefs of Glenavon, and they did have individuals that were teaching classes, and they had it set up where they'd have like two different camera angles to look down at what was being done on the cooktops or the cutting boards, and then also sort of at an angle to see a more broad thing. And that was one of the things I found was most unusual and challenging, especially as a chef myself, is when there is no sense of smell and there is no sense of taste, and you cannot taste the students' works. It almost comes down to descriptions as best you can. In one of the instances, they were making buckwheat crepes, and the teacher said it should be a light periwinkle gray before it actually starts to cook. And that actually was a really neat description of buckwheat batter that I had never thought of before. But yeah, it is. It's not gray, it's not blue, but there's a little bit there. And I guess that's another thing about being a bard and a cook, is that if you have a little bit more of word recall, you can be a better descriptor. Just, hey, throw a little alliteration and kennings in there while you're at it, just to make it truly unique. But my last question is first, I want to say thank you for once again creating another space within the virtual realm for folks who aren't quite ready to get out there and mix it up with their buddies and cohorts just yet. And I wanted to ask, do you see this space, this virtual entity, continuing forward in the foreseeable SCA future?
I think that virtual SCA is a rotten substitute, but an excellent adjunct to in-person events. That this is valuable in and of itself. And while, yes, a lot of our focus is going to be getting together and doing what we do face-to-face, we shouldn't stop doing the electronic stuff, and that this component should remain a part of it going forward. It makes so many things easier with seeing people from. I mean, we expect to have people at this event from Drachenwald and Lochak, in addition to all over North America. Short of a war, that doesn't happen.
I know that I've heard since I've been doing since April of 2020 the online Bardic Circles and then events and everything. I've heard so many people who have said I've not been able to go to SCA events in 4 years, in 8 years, in 15 years, who are able to come back to SCA events because they have that online outlet, because they weren't able to because the nearest groups are too far away, or they've got mobility issues, or they can afford internet, but they can't necessarily afford internet and going to an event. So me personally, I agree. I have desperately missed in-person events, and so looking forward to going to some in August. That said, I think that we've shown that the virtual SEA can be extremely valuable and very vibrant and feel very rewarding. And so, especially now that we've got people who can go to in-person events, I'd say, hey, now that you're not feeling lonely that you can't go to in-person events, give the virtual events a try, because they might not make you feel so homesick now, just because they're a heck of a lot of fun. And also, you only have to put garb in from the waist up.
SCA without pants.
Deny that.
Okay, I'm wearing garb all the way down to my ankles right now, but I mean, you throw on a tunic, nobody's gonna.
This is a Greek peplos. It doesn't really matter. It's basically a tube. It's immaterial, but it's material in that it is immaterial. But well, thank you both so very much for answering my questions. I greatly appreciate it, and thank you again for putting on this endeavor for the folks at home and elsewhere, as you say, from Drachenwald to Lochak and everywhere in between. And I just wanted to say thank you so very much for your time this evening.
So, well, I apologize for breaking in on your questions before because I couldn't hear from my side. But I'm going to leave you up, Bjorn, because I think you could be like the phone a friend on this, given what we're going to do. So look at sheer terror on Hilla's face.
Oh no, it's not terror. It's just I have problems with the truth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is the point of the show where we play a little trivia game. So Bjorn, what is the name of the game for tonight's show?
The game for this evening's guests is Recipe for Disaster.
That's right. So, considering what the event's about, I've gone out and looked up period recipes and documented period recipes. Now, I'll give you the name of the recipe, and you're going to tell me whether it is a real period dish or not. Okay. So, and if you get stuck, you have your culinary and Bardic performing Laurel that you can ask locally. He has not any clue, has never seen these questions or answers. So he's your phone a friend. So
yeah.
Okay, are we ready? Are we clear on what this is? It's pretty straightforward. Mm-hmm. We'll start one. How about this? A pudding in a cowcumber. Is that a real dish or not?
No idea.
I'm going to say yes. It is a real dish.
Disgusting enough, it must be English.
And Bjorn, what do you think? Is that a real dish?
A cowcumber. I don't know if a magnolia is an old world. I'll say yeah.
Okay, so it is an actual dish. It's basically a big cucumber stuffed with liver. So if you're looking for a little crudité at your next meeting,
what liver is it?
Either lamb or pig. So,
High quality.
That sounds good. And me, I just like ranch dressing on my cucumber. Okay, so you get that one. How about now? Some of these made me want to do a game, whether it was a recipe or an adult love story movie, because this one's called Tarts of Flesh. Tarts of Flesh, is that a real dish? Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's a meat pie. I mean, so I mean, I would say there are definitely meat pies in period and out of period. Whether they called them tarts of flesh, on the other hand.
Yeah, so true or false?
Are you going to guess this, Cerian, or are you going to make me do it again?
I would say, okay, let's go with yes, that thing existed. Whether they called it that or not, that's another matter.
It is. It is actually, we have the recipe here, and it's pork and a whole bunch of other stuff written in medieval that I don't understand. But it's an actual recipe. Tarts of Flesh. I think they actually serve that at a buffet in Vegas. Okay.
That does sound like a movie that you definitely need to be of age to see, though.
I'm not old enough to go then. Okay.
No, you're not.
How about sausage weasel? Is sausage weasel a real dish? Period dish.
I'm sure sausage weasel thinks they're quite the dish.
And it's also a dancer at Chippendales. But sausage weasel, is that a real period dish?
No.
Oh man, I wish it was. You're correct. It is not a real dish.
How about Cerian is actually my Laurel, so you know.
Well, how about pudding of porpoise? Pudding of porpoise. True or false?
No.
You are incorrect. That is actual dish. It is stuffed porpoise stomach. It's like aquatic haggis.
Aquatic haggis.
Horrible.
Did you know that one, Bjorn?
Actually, I did know that one.
Have you had it?
I have not had it because I find it morally reprehensible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well. That's your first loss. Okay, we'll keep going. Stuffed eel pudding.
Yeah. Why not? Yes.
Would you eat it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I've eaten eel, so
eel.
So, what, do you think it's real, Bjorn?
I actually do think it's real.
No, it's not. I totally made
It's
that
not.
No, I totally made that.
Okay, this actually surprises me because I mean, you know, the medieval English would make a pudding of pretty much damn everything. So
well, there may be one. I just couldn't find one online. So.
I know that the Romans stuffed remora, the round mouthed toothed things that hang on the sides of sharks. I know that they stuffed them, and that. Well, okay. Well, yeah, that's fine. Now I have to find if that is in fact a recipe or not.
How about pigeon stewed? Pigeon stewed, real dish or not?
I would think so. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you're right. It's popular in most metropolitan cities now. Here's another. Is it a movie or is it a?
Oh, I thought that was just Kentucky Fried Chicken.
True. How about orange omelets for ruffians and brazen harlots? Orange omelets for ruffians and brazen harlots. Sounds like a period novel that I would read too. You want to phone a friend on this one, or do you think you got it? You can ask Bjorn.
Well, let's ask Bjorn. I'll go with that.
Bjorn, is that a real one or not?
I believe that is a correct recipe, a real recipe. 16th century.
Actually, it's from the 1430s. Is the first documented recipe for orange omelets for ruffians and brazen harlots.
Now, are we talking ruffians as in roughy or ruffians as in ne'er-do-wells?
Ne'er-do-wells.
Okay.
So it's a morning after omelet.
Why? You use better eggs for them or what? It was the cook for Pope Martin V who's credited with the original recipe.
Well,
I don't have words for that.
Yeah, definitely ruffians and harlots.
You should serve at the next Laurel Council.
You know what? I don't taunt me. I might.
And don't tell them what the recipe's called till after they eat it.
They watch the show, Laertes.
Oh, whoops. How about heathen cakes? Heathen cakes. We're on a roll. We're on a theme right now. Heathen cakes.
Wasn't that your name in sophomore year?
That's my dancer name, Heathen Cakes.
Right.
True or false?
I'm going to go with no.
I'm going to go with no.
Actually, true. Actually, it's dough, spread it thin, and put boiled meat and fatty bacon and apples and eggs in it, and bake
They're
it.
made out of real heathens.
That's only at Mrs. Lovett's.
Like Girl Scout cookies. Are they made out of real Girl Scouts?
We have two more. Y'all are doing. How about gruel of gizzards? Gruel of gizzards. Anything with the word gruel in it sounds delicious.
Well, I mean, that sounds like something Shakespeare would put in. I don't know if it actually exists.
No idea. Why? It's sufficiently disgusting. Why not?
I want to see that on documentation when someone submits a dish. That sounds disgusting enough to be period. So, Bjorn, you have a quizzical look on your face.
Chicken gizzards?
Gruel of gizzards is what it is.
I would say yes, but I'm at this point. I'm calling into question my very sense of self at this point.
I'm thinking no. So
Well,
I'm going to go
that's-
against the grain here.
You're right. It is not a real dish. It's something my sick mind. Okay, last one. And again, this could be a movie. Hungarian tart. Hungarian tart.
You know, I am part Hungarian, so there is that.
So am I.
So I'm just gonna have to say yes.
Now that could be your dancer name.
Why not?
Yes, it is. It's actually a tart for 12 people with pork loin, onions, a half a pound of spices, and fresh grease as opposed to old grease to really give it that extra flavor. So
Yeah, it's got to be definitely fresh.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, when I eat grease, I like the fresh kind. Well, I think you got about half of them.
Bacon fat,
Well, but bacon fat's different than grease. I mean, I think grease is like, oh, let me just. Anyway.
I mean, I've made scones with fresh bacon fat.
Well, that sounds delicious.
That's the gateway grease right there.
Yeah.
Well, I would say you got about half of them. So nicely done, everyone. Hopefully, some of those dishes will be part of the classes at the World Cooks and Bards event.
I think we actually should have a sausage weasel challenge.
We'll see what we can do.
Just so I can say sausage weasel.
You just want to write a song about it.
I mean, I already wrote a song about tacos, so I might as well write a sequel about sausage weasels. So,
Man, people won't see this, but I'm actually editing myself right now. So
I'm impressed.
You should be, because we're going to have a conversation after this show goes off the air.
Wait,
Anyway.
Laertes, you knew me.
That's true.
And you still invited me on.
And I purposely talked about sausage weasel.
And you did.
And as Batista points out, sausage weasels are illegal in 10 kingdoms.
By the way, love you, Bautista.
Don't tell her that. She's going to want to be on live. Well, thank you so much. I wish you the utmost in success on your event. It sounds great. And the fact that you've rotated every 2 weeks and that will be online and give the opportunity for people to experience that perhaps would not be able to do it or haven't had the chance over the years that it's been done. I think that's fantastic. And I look forward to hearing back on how well it went. So thank you both for your time. I know it's a little bit later where you're at. Hilla, you came back twice. It's not my fault.
If you say my name again, do I show up a third time or something like that?
That's 5 times. Beetlejuice is 3 times. Candyman is 5 times.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're quite welcome. It's a pleasure seeing you again. Pleasure meeting you. Anyway, thank you very much. Y'all have a great evening and enjoy your sausage weasel. We'll talk to you later. Have a great night. Bye-bye. Man, I wanted to see how many times I could say sausage weasel. That was fun.
I have to admit that while I wasn't, I certainly didn't think that was a thing. I figured that you would find a way to create something. It's like, oh, it's good for Lent or something.
I should commission from you an epic poem to be read in court about sausage weasel.
Well, yeah, we might could do that.
Well, you know, Her Excellency, I don't know what her song's about that she's about to perform.
That's a very good point. That is a very good point.
And speaking of sausage weasel, no, we're not going to make that the transition. Sorry.
No.
Well, so it looks like we have a repeat performer coming on our show this evening. Who would that be?
We do. Once again, we're very fortunate to have with us the landed Baroness of the Barony of Altavia here in Caid, and that would be Her Excellency Briana MacCabe. So we're very, very fortunate to have her with us this evening.
Thank you, and let's bring her on. Because I know she's excited to be here after this previous conversation we just had. And she's going to be here right now. Hello, Your Excellency.
Hello, you're seriously going to make me follow sausage weasel, which I maintain is actually an implement for making sausage, not a food item. Just putting it out there.
Well, I will go out to the internet right now and tell you that Her Excellency wants you to show her your sausage weasel. If you have a sausage weasel, just go on our Facebook page and post a picture. You're welcome. So how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It was such a pleasure to see you at the event on Saturday. And being there, hosting the barony under the baronial dragon wings, and just being radiant and helping bring back the joy of being in person. I just want to say thank you so much, and it was so good to see you. And I know it must be good to be out amongst the populace without a piece of glass.
Yes, it was wonderful. We had a very large group. Actually, I think we kind of spilled outside of the Dragon Wing, had to have a couple of pop-ups around. And it was so great just to see people getting to do the things that they love, the reason why they're in the SCA, be it the armored fighting, the rapier fighting, the arts and sciences, heralding, just laughing with friends. It was an amazing day.
Yeah, it was good to be around, and lots of good fighting and merriment to be had. So I know you've been working on expanding your areas of interest in the SCA, and one of them has been rapier fighting. Is that the case? So you do like a 100-day challenge, don't you? Is that what
Yes, it's the 100-day Pell Challenge. I believe it started in the armored community, but it's spread through all sorts of art forms. There's people doing it for rapier. There's people doing it for archery, thrown weapons. And if you look up 100-day Pell Challenge on Facebook, you should find it. Anyone is welcome to join. And it's an honor system of, you every day you do your practice, and you're supposed to do at least 100 hits on a Pell or something that represents that. Since deciding that I was actually going to fight rapier, because initially I was just going to do it for exercise with a heavy stick that I borrowed from Duchess Bridget. But once I decided I really did want to learn rapier, I alternate between doing Pell work and doing footwork to keep that going, along with going to usually Monday night practice, skipping it out for you guys this week. And I've completed it once, and as of tomorrow, actually, I'll be halfway through a second time.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, I've never done that because I'm lazy, but that's great. And you find that are you finding that doing this is broadening your engagement into the SCA? I mean, because you're so busy anyway. I mean, a landed baroness and your bardic performances and supporting the barony, layering this on. Amanda, do you even sleep, or are you just kind of?
Usually, but yeah, it's given me an appreciation because before times I would hang out. I would obviously support Nico in his fighting, and he would explain some of what was going on, and it would kind of go a little bit over my head, but now I actually know what's going on. And Saturday was great seeing all the different styles and the different things to consider as I start on this journey and what I want my style and what I want to do in rapier.
Well, I have had the opportunity to cross blades with you for a little bit and work on stuff, and you definitely bring the joy to the game that should be there. So
yeah, and I just want to say it's amazing how welcoming the rapier community is, and how I'm almost overwhelmed with the offers to help teach and people who want to fight me. So it's been great.
That's great. That's great. So speaking about your other endeavors, you're going to be performing a song for us this evening. You want to tell us about it?
Yes, so I'm digging back to my college Ren Fair days, to one of the very first songs I ever wrote. So I did the Ohio Renaissance Festival for 3 seasons when I was in college. And the first season, I heard this song about the sea calling to someone, and I loved it. And I sang it with a couple of people. And then, it's only for August and September, and then it goes away. And I was back the next season, and I wanted to sing it again because instead of doing all the fancy, flashy improv theater, I would like to find a nice, quiet place to sing and look pretty. And I went around and said, I could only remember the chorus. So I sang the chorus to people, like, what's the rest of the song? And no one knew what I was talking about. I'm like, but we just learned it last year. So I sang it to people, no one knew it. This went on for a couple of years till like right before I moved out to California. And I decided, I'm just going to write a new song to go with the chorus that I remember. And since then, I've done run fairs out here in California, obviously been the SCA, and, with online and everything, put that chorus out there and no one knows the other part of the song. So if anybody's seeing this and recognizes the chorus of the song I'm about to sing, please reach out to me and let me find a song I lost 20 years ago.
Wow. Well, it sounds great. Well, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And this song is called The Ocean's Bride. A woman is standing on the high craggy shore, fearing she'll hold her lover no more. For his ship it has sailed past the dawn and the tide, and now she'll be the ocean's bride. And the waves sing, love, love, come to me and stay. Oh, hear my lonely tune, and it shall lead the way. She met her young sailor in the month of June. Her mother, she said, this may be your doom. For sailors, they wither when tied to the land. He'll slip through your fingers like fine grains of sand. And the waves sing, love, love, come to me and stay. Oh, hear my lonely tune, and it shall lead the way. Then in came September, and in came the news. There must be one more voyage, now it's no time to lose. He hurried to Bristol, the waves for to ride, saying when he returned, he'd make her his bride. And the waves sing, love, love, come to me and stay. Oh, hear my lonely tune, and it shall lead the way. Then in came December, and in came the news. His ship was attacked a battle ensued, and in her mind all she saw was red. When told it was certain her love he was dead, and the waves sing, love, love, come to me and stay. Oh, hear my lonely tune, and it shall lead the way. Come every sunrise, she stares at the sea, and shouts at it curses for its cruelty. Saying, how can something so beautiful be so mean? Why does my love lie under your green? In all of my life, I've loved only one. And if I can't be with him, I'll be with none. Say, for all of its beauty and all of its charms, I believe I shall lie in the ocean's arms, where the waves sing, love, love, come to me and stay. Oh, hear my lonely tune, and it shall lead the way. A woman is standing on the high craggy shore, dreaming she holds her lover once more. But he has sailed past the dawn and the time, and now she'll be the ocean's bride.
Very nice. Beautiful.
Sorry to bring us down from, sausage whistle. I tend to sing sad songs of unrequited love in the sea. It's my thing.
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, the ocean does that.
That would be a good ship name. HMS Sausage Weasel.
It sounds like a ship that would show up in a D&D campaign. Just going to say.
All aboard the Sausage Weasel.
Well, now you know what to do for the next Shire of Ireland's pirate tourney.
Oh my. Yes, that's going to happen.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us once again, and especially taking up time away from your Barony's weekly practice. We do appreciate it. I know how much you enjoy just sitting there. And it was great to see you again.
Great to see you guys too.
Okie dokie. Well, we will let you have a good evening. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
There are occasional things in our show that will live beyond us, and I think Sausage Weasel is one of them. Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to make some merchandise on our merchandise site with Sausage Weasel.
And by the way, I found the recipe, and I will make you an orange omelet, just so you can have it. And by the way, according to what I have been able to ascertain, ruffians and harlots, it basically means the portion size. So if you have, say, a dozen eggs,
Mm-hmm.
then that's either like 4 men's portions or ruffians portions or 6 harlots portions. And I don't know why, because honestly, it sounds fantastic. I wouldn't, it's like, forget it, I'm all the harlots, and just take it for yourself. So I'll make it for you next time I'm over.
I will buy used as a